That's what I say to the Cleveland Browns. That's it. You're out of here. Boys and girls, welcome to the Cockpit. My name is Ryan. I will be your pilot tonight. I am oh so excited to have you in here. If you're just on your way in, make sure you hit that like button. Always appreciated. The Jets shocked the Browns 31-30. I can't wait to get into your phone calls. We're going to do this the same way we do it every Monday night. We are going to take calls starting at 8:30. I can't wait to hear your reactions. Until then, I will give you some of my thoughts after having a day to kind of digest everything and figure stuff out. But before we do that, I have to do a little bit of paying some bills. So boys and girls, fantasy football draft season is right around the corner. CeeDee Lamb is good, but have you seen these beautiful balls? It's time to get your snake looking right for this snake draft with the sponsors of today's show, Manscaped. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have created a championship lineup. With their Performance Package 4.0, join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with promo code JetsTalk. So if you want to support the channel, get yourself some nice, clean, smelling balls, make sure you head over to Manscaped. They got some great stuff. Actually been rocking the deodorant, and it's kind of nice. I just worked from like 5:30 this morning till just now, and I'm I'm feeling pretty good. But yeah, guys, lots of stuff that we can go over. We've got the Jets winning in spectacular fashion. Garrett Wilson has a huge day. What do you have, like 102 yards? I think it was 102 yards. Is that right? 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. Corey Davis drops 83 yards and a touchdown. One monster reception on a blown coverage by the Browns. Joe Flacco has himself a cool 307 yards again. It's 2 weeks in a row. This week, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He did have the 1 fumble by way of Jadeveon Clowney coming off the right-hand side on Max Mitchell. So let's go through the position groups one by one. I'll kind of give you some of my thoughts on everything. Defensively, I thought for the most part we played really well. This is kind of an extension of what we saw week 1. Now, I know people are going to get frustrated. We're not seeing the blitzing or the sacks that you want to see. I think we only had, did we just have one? I think it was just the Carl Lawson one. But look at the 2 teams we faced. We faced the Baltimore Ravens and we faced the Cleveland Browns. 2 teams that arguably have like top 5 rushing offenses. And we were playing from a losing perspective. Like when teams are winning, they're going to run the ball. They're going to try and run out the clock, thus not allowing us to have many pass rush opportunities. Now, Chubb and Hunt absolutely tore us up yesterday. And Chubb, luckily, with 1 minute and 55 seconds left, decided to score a touchdown. And it's hard in that like fraction of a second to really make the decision, but the coaches should have got on him and said, hey, make sure you fall before the goal line, stop at the 1, because that gave the Jets an opportunity to win this game. If he had fallen down, the Browns run out the clock with 3 kneels because the Jets did not have any timeouts to speak of. Now the Jets got a quick score from Joe Flacco, and then they recover the onside kick, and it's like insane because what is it, like a 5% chance of possibly getting the onside kick? Shocking. So many things had to happen for that to actually fall into place, and Browns fans were pissed. It was great watching the reaction of the Browns fans on the screen. Just made me feel so good. I don't know if you guys saw the picture of, they made like a Deshaun Watson kind of monument. Not really. It was just fans in the parking lot. It was a guy laying on his back on a massage table with, let's call him at full mast with some shorts on. And the picture is great because the Browns are 0-1 since having that picture taken. It's just so great. Screw them, right? If it were any other team, I don't think I'd be as salty. Maybe a division rival, but really felt good to get this one for sure. So aside from the running game having some real success, we saw some more issues in the screen game. We still are having issues covering the screen. And I think if we had seen J.K. Dobbins week 1, we would have run into similar issues with Baltimore. Granted, the weather kind of aided in the lack of some of the explosiveness that some of Lamar Jackson kind of brings to the game. But secondary-wise, I thought we played relatively well. Amari Cooper is a serious target, and I think him only being targeted, I think it was 4 times the week prior, and then going back and watching tape and saying, oh, wow, Amari Cooper's open all the time, gave them the confidence to really be able to utilize him a little more frequently this week than he was utilized last week. Now, I did hear in the Robert Saleh interview that Sauce is to blame for the blown coverage assignment on the one touchdown between him and Joyner. Sauce made the wrong, made a rookie mistake. It's okay. It's going to happen. Now, when I look at okay, did Sauce give up a touchdown? Technically, yes. But from a skill, man-on-man competition point of view, I'm not really counting this one against Sauce. It's because of Sauce, but not I don't think he was beat from a physical perspective. I think it's, a mental error, which I can rationalize a little bit easier than maybe just getting beat. But I think he continued to play well. They called a touchdown on him initially. I think it was the play before. Is that right? I think it was the play before. Clearly not a touchdown, which is super infuriating because the Jets wound up losing a challenge on 3rd down. The drive before I think it was the drive before, with the Conklin reception on 3rd down, and his foot was clearly in bounds, and they're just well, I guess not clearly because they called it incomplete, which is really, really frustrating. And to have them say oh, no, we're going to do a booth review for the touchdown because whatever. What if that was too close and the play stood? I'd be losing my mind. Well, not really losing my mind because they wound up scoring anyway, but you know what I'm trying to get at here. Eccles came in, had a few nice stops, played well in relief of Ahmad Sauce Gardner when he came out with a little bit of what appeared to be a head, not concussion, but just kind of a stinger. So I thought he played pretty well in that little short blip that we got him. NY Jets Tales, I do see your super chat. I will get to it in just a second. I just want to rattle off some more thoughts that I have. Special teams wise, what a turnaround. 100% turnaround here. Zerline kicks a 57-yard field goal, which would have been good from 60 plus. Really liked that. Good conditions for him to connect on that. I don't believe Pinheiro makes that kick if he's on this team. Braden Mann has himself a few good punts and also had himself a nice 4th down conversion, throwing a 17-yard pass to Jeff Smith to keep a drive alive. And then he had the oh-so-important onside kick after the Corey Davis touchdown that allowed the Jets the opportunity to score and go on to win the game. So I have to say I love some man. Today it is absolutely awesome to see that happen. At the minute we got that onside kick, I was there's no way the Jets are losing. That was the hardest part. The Jets were driving down the field on the Browns every possession. We would have even had more had Flacco not been hit and fumbled the ball as well in the red zone. So the Jets really played well overall. Running back wise, I thought Michael Carter and Breece Hall both had, solid days, nothing overly crazy. Flacco and the offensive, wide receivers, I thought were really, really shining. Conklin, I'm a little down on Conklin right now. He's got 2 fumbles in 2 weeks. The talent's there. I really like him, but I have to say I'm a little bit down on him right now. Ruckert had a ball that was just kind of out of reach of him. Should have kind of made the catch. Did get a little bit of some hands on it. I think in that position you do have to make that catch there. Garrett Wilson. Oh man. Could this guy have exploded onto the scene in a cooler way? I was so worried that he was going to be the reason, not the reason we lost, but the reason we couldn't come back when he had that 3rd and 4 drop. Just hit him right in the hands, tried to make a move before he caught the ball the whole way. And that would have crushed me because he had a good game up to that point. I was like, man, really, that's going to be the bitter taste that's left in our mouths. And then he comes back and he scores the game-winning touchdown. Dude is legit in front of the Ohio fans. Remember, he went to Ohio State, so it is nice to kind of see him get that little bit of a nod there. Overall, really, really like this. I think the players fought to the bitter end. I think Joe Douglas has this team playing hard. These guys believe they can win any game. That's what's nice. Like that, you're starting to see some of the talent that is on this team. And I think the pass rush, once we're able to kind of play with a little bit more of a lead or play with teams that aren't so run heavy, I think you're going to see it even better as we start to move on through this regular season. NY Jets Tales says, can we give Parks some credit to start tonight without his heads up play, keeping the ball in bounds during an onside kick? We would have lost. Go Jets. Yes. Parks had a great play to tap that ball back in bounds. Hardy winds up recovering it. Hardy has been awesome. And then even Ashton Davis, like the one defensive play this dude is on, he winds up getting the interception to seal the game. Absolutely love it. Ashton Davis, I see why they kept him on the field or kept him on the team. I was one that thought he, could have been cut, especially for someone like maybe like Pinnock. Now, I would have understood if like maybe Parks wasn't kept and they kept Pinnock and Davis, but Davis had himself the interception. Parks kept it in bounds. Hardy recovers the onside kick. Across the board, just awesome all the way around, and we would not have won if it were not for any of the efforts of those guys right there. Fawn says, if Corey Davis drops that wide open touchdown, he would be traded. That was... I'm not going to lie. Anytime I see a wide open throw like that, I just panic. It's like, oh, please just catch it. Please just have an accurate throw. Like everything about it. Like what if Flacco had another like errant throw and it went out of bounds or something like that? Like there's not so many things that could have gone wrong because at least you didn't have a defender possibly breaking up the pass. But yeah, dude, I held my breath. I held my breath and I was, a little concerned there. Disregard Papa says, opinion on O-line during the Browns game, yay or nay? We still have trouble on the left-hand side. I haven't watched any full videos on Tomlinson yet, but I can tell he seems to be struggling a little bit. Fant got beat by a better edge rusher, and you could tell they tried to give him a little bit of help. There was one sack on Flacco where like Tomlinson went right, Fant went right, Carter went right, and Garrett just like hit Flacco without being blocked. That was totally wacky. So that was kind of irritating. What pisses me off more than anything else is the self-inflicted wounds from the offensive line. Like I'm fine with Mitchell getting beat by Jadeveon Clowney and having a strip sack. Like that's going to happen. Those guys are really, really good, and this is a fourth-round rookie. But what I don't like seeing is Connor McGovern having two penalties where he is down the field too far and you're just shooting us in the foot. And I want to say there was another offensive line penalty that also kind of drove me bananas. Basically, anytime you have a false start or a, ineligible, I keep calling it an ineligible offensive lineman downfield, but I think there's another word for that. I keep screwing it up. So overall, I do think this offensive line is going to start to gel as we continue to go. And I do think the Bengals and the Steelers provide better matchups than the Ravens or the Browns because of the defensive lines that they're going up against. So some of my thoughts there. What else are you guys talking about in here? Zachary says, what do people think about what Fields said? I have no idea what Fields said. Let me know what he said. I'm interested. Steven says the Browns secondary didn't even run after Davis when he caught it. Oh, dude, that defensive coordinator has got to be steaming because that was like, that ball went up and they're like, oh, this game's over. It doesn't really matter. Like their safety, whoever it was, Delpit or whoever, just starts like a light jog to try and like look like he's in the frame. Like that looks terrible, dude. Dude, you tackle him. Like the Jets needed a fast score. Like everything that happened was just like, okay, we need Chubb to score. We need to get the ball back and score fast, which we did. Okay, now we need the onside kick. Oh, man, we got the onside kick. Now we have to drive like a minute and 13 seconds or whatever. I don't even remember how much time was left. I think it was like a minute 13. Would we have no timeouts and score a touchdown and make the extra point and stop them from getting into field goal range? Dude, so much needed to go right for the Jets to wind up winning this game, and it all fell into place. And it's nice just to not be on that end of the, or on the wrong end of the loss. David brings up a great point. Props to Mitchell's heads-up play jumping on Conklin fumble. Yeah, that was massive. Could you imagine them getting the ball inside, like, what was it, the 10-yard line? Huge heads-up play. Always run to the ball. Always run to the ball. That's the reason the Browns gave up that touchdown to Corey Davis, and it's the reason Mitchell got that fumble recovery. It was really nice to see there. Taurine says, I like the Eagles. They almost did it last season. See if I can double screen and think they'll come on in a little bit. Yeah, so you're going to watch the game tonight. I have to figure out how to pull it up. I got to pull it up on my computer over here so I can wind up watching that. A mess. The refs were paid off. No, Jets wound up winning. I'm okay. Lou says, we're going to come out straight fire at home this week. Yeah, we are going to come out swinging. Now, the only thing that I don't love is that the Bengals are coming off 2 depressing losses, so they're going to be really pissed off. But I do think the Jets are not a really good team, but I do think the Jets can beat the Bengals. Like the Bengals, if I have seen anything these first 2 weeks, they seem like they can be beat. The Jets beat them last year, but maybe they're trying to get a little bit of payback for that as well. So you just got to keep grinding, and stack those good days of practice. Muttvile says, can Flacco repeat the same performance as he did against the Bengals? He did not play against the Bengals. He sat on the bench. It was Mike White. So, can he repeat? Probably not. Marcus Metcalf says, Max Mitchell should be locked in at right tackle. I'm very happy that we're going to see a lot of this throughout Sunday. Or not, well, multiple Sundays, throughout the entire season. Because ideally you want to come to the end of this year and say, okay, right tackle is figured out. We got this on lock. Absolutely awesome. I like the upside that Max Mitchell provides for us. So I'm hoping he is really the guy. Zachary Berner had said, you were talking about the Justin Fields thing. It hurts more in the locker room. It hurts more in the locker room than for Bears fans. They ain't putting in any work. Ooh, that's not a good quote. Bad quote. The guys that buy season tickets, pay for the jerseys, spend all that time and money when they could be spending it with other teams and other sports. You never take a shot at the fans. That's a bad look for Justin Fields. Do not like that. I'd be very upset if our guys said something like that. Rex Ryan said he made the same mistake with Sean Green that Chubb did versus the Patriots in the playoff game. So Sean Green, if he had dropped and taken a knee, I think we run out the clock, but we wound up scoring a touchdown. So that actually could have bit us in the butt. That was back in 2010, 11, 10, January of 11, something like that. Let's see. Muttvile says Lawson is going to get 3 to 4 sacks. And I was talking about Flacco repeat what he did last week. Repeat last week with the Browns for the Bengal game. That's what he's trying to say. That makes sense. Wash, rinse, repeat. I'll sign up for the same exact thing. We get 4 touchdowns for beating the Bengals. So fingers crossed. The nice thing is, between all the teams, like Mixon's really good, and he can provide a lot of value in the screen game that's going to cause us a lot of headaches. But I think there's going to be a little extra motivation factor with Lawson trying to get some sacks against his former team, as well as Burrow just not being super mobile anyway. So, not that he's a statue, but he's going to be a little bit easier to take down than I think the offensive line versus the Browns or Lamar Jackson when you're trying to contain a lot of the running. So I do like that. Nose kills. Thank you. Says, been listening to Browns YouTubers. Corey Davis blown coverage was their veteran cornerback getting the play call wrong. Was cover 3. He played cover 2. Nobody told Chubb to kneel. Fans calling for coaches' heads. Dude, Browns fans are so mad. I have no idea, like, if there's any. I'm sure there are some Browns YouTubers now. When I first started doing YouTube, like, or actually for the first 3 or 4 years, I couldn't find a Browns YouTuber. So it was like, who am I going to collab with? But yeah, if they're irritated, dude, makes sense. Absolutely. I would be pissed too. Now, I don't want to be calling for anyone's head, but when you have a 99.9% chance of winning and you blow it like that, makes me feel pretty good. Boogie Down Bronx says, hey, Ryan, love that the Jets won and how they won, but to keep things in perspective, our defense was not good. Too much talent to play that way. Cooper is really good. I think he's gonna get his catches. Like, there's only so much you can really do with Cooper. Chubb and Hunt legitimately may be the best tandem in the NFL at running back. So when you're looking at our linebackers and some of the speed, like Quan Alexander, it is so great that we wound up bringing him in. CJ Mosley playing pretty well. Quincy Williams still making some boneheaded penalties that just want to make you like, I don't even know. It's just really, really frustrating. And I do think safety is still an issue. Like, I don't want to see Joyner out there. I'd rather lose with Davis than, I don't want to say lose with Davis. I'd rather have Davis out there and go through the growing pains than have Joyner out there like, whiffing on coverages and stuff like that. Like, for me, the reps mean more than the vet experience right now because we have some other vets in the secondary. Defensive wise, look, I like our edge rush. I think our edge rush is going to be good. We just haven't had an opportunity to pin our ears back. And when we needed a third down sack, Lawson pushed the left tackle straight back and got to Brissett, and that's exactly what I want to see. So I think we are right there. Everaldo says, can you dig it? Yes, I can. It's absolutely great. Absolutely great. Boys and girls, we got 3 minutes before we go to the phone lines. Got a few things to talk about. We can talk about the Jets shocking the Browns, which should absolutely be the main topic of today. I want to hear your reactions. How you feeling about Garrett Wilson? And what should we expect for Jets Bengals? You're going to wind up getting 3 minutes on the clock. And after 3 minutes...
That's it! You're out of here!
That's right. That's it. You're out of here. So nothing too crazy. What else are you guys talking about in here? Man, I am sweating like a dog. My head. So get this. I'm working at the course today, and we have to do what's known as a clean pick. You got to get all the golf balls off the course. And over the course of the season, when it rains and things like that, and the picker drives over top of golf balls, it pushes the ball into the dirt. So you get like hundreds of balls, like just below the surface that you can't pick up with the picker. So you got to go around. I've actually got a blister on my hand for it. Can you see it? Yeah, you can't see that. Bam, blister. Take screwdrivers and you pop the balls out of the ground, and you got to, clean them and everything. But oh man, dude, that sucked. Like 2 hours of my day today was literally popping golf balls out of dirt. Not fun. Definitely a long day for the pilot over here. Let's see. James Bernard says, hopefully we can win against the Bengals and the Steelers and go 3-1 against the AFC North. That feels very attainable right now because we're kind of riding that high of the Browns game, and also because of the way the Bengals have started the season and because TJ Watt is not playing for the Steelers. Steelers are still a very tough team, but doesn't it get you like a little salty that the Jets played well enough to win had they not blown a big coverage to Bateman in week 1. Then you could have potentially gone. Imagine saying like, oh, we're going to go 0-9 from Brady Quinn, to start the season. Then Jets really could have, like, depending on how things shake out, we might have a pretty decent start to the season. Fingers crossed. Don't count your chickens before they hatch because that would be terrible. Noseskills says, Matt O'Leary was visiting a Browns YouTuber's channel last week. The guy was less smug after the games. Seemed like a good channel, though. Noseskills, let me know what the channel is because I'm interested to kind of see. I try to follow a bunch of other teams' YouTubers because anytime there's insight on a team that we're about to play, I always kind of take a peek over there. I know a bunch of guys do that with this channel. We have a bunch of non-Jet fans that do tune in. I know there's a few Bears fans in there, too. Seen them pop in from time to time. Sean, what's up? Thank you for the super chat. Says, this might just be me, but Davis not sprinting into the end zone on that play bothered me. We were down, and those seconds could have really mattered. You know what? You're right. I didn't really think of the extra seconds. He probably, could have saved 2 or 3 seconds there with like the little trot that he did. But at the same time, I'm not really going to give him too much flack. For that, I really did. Just the fact that we got the touchdown. Love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, got to play smart. Okay. Let's see. Let's open up the phone lines. Hopefully I have this all queued up the correct way. Phone number is almost on the screen. What do we got? Call in phone number is on the screen. Let's see who we got.
From
James.
To accept, press 1.
James, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Hey, I wanted to talk about something completely not involving yesterday's game.
Ooh, fire away.
The rookie, number 72, God, his name won't come to me.
Michael Clemens.
The big guy. Yeah, Clemens.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice in the last preseason game, he took out the Giants' backup quarterback?
Oh, yeah.
In week 1 against the Ravens, he took out their starting tackle.
Oh, man. The dude's a heat-seeking missile. Like, he is an aggressive son of a bitch.
He's so big, and he's so, he just, I know you're not supposed to root for injuries, but he's taking players out, and by doing that, he makes our chances to win better. I love watching him. I don't know what it is. There's just something about this guy.
Dude, his motor moves 100 miles an hour. He's so fun to watch. And I never root for injury, but I definitely root for him hitting players so hard. They want to think about maybe not playing the next down. That's always how I word it. It's like, you know what? Don't wish for injury, but I want you to think about that hit that he just gave you. And that when he knocked the shit out of Tyrod Taylor, oh man, I'm hoping he can lay a lick on some of these quarterbacks throughout the course of this season, like the starters.
I'm looking forward to the game this week because I really want to see what the D-line can do against a team with no offensive line.
Yeah, that's huge. And especially like a not so mobile quarterback. Like as far as young quarterbacks go, Burrow is probably the closest thing we've seen to like a sort of statue.
I'm looking forward to Zach coming back because you're really going to find out this year if he's a quarterback or not. And I really think he has talent. Mm-hmm. I think he needs to learn how to throw the touch passes, a little bit better and not throw everything, 60 miles an hour when the guy's 5 yards away from him.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
If he can learn that, I think he can be a stud. The kid's got a ton of talent.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway, that's it.
Well, you think about, let's talk. You got 50 seconds. It's all right. Don't you worry. I want to see Zach come back because I think you're absolutely right. I think having the little touch passes, that's something you need to be able to do with reps. And when Zach Wilson is hurt and he's not playing, you need the reps. Now, Garrett Wilson was the one that came out and said, Joe Flacco has some really nice touch on the ball. He just knows how to take a little bit of zip off of it. He's not throwing everything 110%, every time. So, I am a little curious to see if Flacco has a really good next week and possibly a good week against the Steelers, depending on when Zach is on pace to come back. it's going to be interesting to see just how the team reacts. Like, I feel like you should pull Flacco because you got to figure out what you have in Zach. But man, if Flacco's playing well, it's going to be hard to justify that for the rest of the guys. Brother, thank you so much for the call. You have been ejected
You're out of here!
from the cockpit. Who we got?
Call from.
Hulk smash.
To ex-
What's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's going on, Ryan? How you feeling? How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing so well. Jets won yesterday. How you feeling?
Oh, that was the best win ever, man. That was the best win I've seen since 2015 against the Patriots in overtime.
100%. That is absolutely where I would go with that as well. The same amount of energy and like excitement, right there.
Excitement was an understatement. That I know that Corey Davis touchdown pass was a good one, but that Garrett Wilson seal the game touchdown catch was the best thing I've ever seen as a rookie.
Garrett Wilson is such a stud.
Game in the league, and he balls out.
Dude, I'm excited. Like, even just some of like the little nuances, like between him and Elijah Moore, we've got a pair of like really young wide receivers that are going to cause teams a ton of headaches.
Yes, because as soon as they tried to cover Garrett Wilson, the first thing that Flacco did was went straight to Elijah Moore.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, and Elijah Moore's just got that little bit of, I don't know if it's touch or like finesse in his game, where he is just so shifty. You see him across, like on the sideline, not on the sideline, but along the sideline, toe tapping. The guy's beautiful routes.
Yesterday's win was a thing. I mean, I know it wasn't the prettiest win, but the way we won and the fashion that we won was a thing of beauty. Oh, those Browns tears was so delicious.
Oh, dude, you could just pour me a whole glass of Browns tears right in my beer. I will chug it.
Oh, please. I just wanted to talk to you about that, man. Yo, we're going to enjoy this one, and we're going to see how we do against the Bengals, man. Talk to you later.
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you so much for the call.
You already know, man.
You're out of here!
Oh, God, I love the excitement. It really makes me feel good. This fan base has needed this. We have needed the excitement, and it just hasn't been there because it just feels like we had Adam Gase for 2 years. Then we had such a young team last year. We got a young team this year, but you have the opportunity to see these guys grow and learn.
Call from.
Chad, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Ryan, what's going on, man? We got it done.
Dude, it feels so good. Like, it's nice to have a victory Sunday or a victory Monday where you can, like, go into work, talk shit about my coworker, Browns fan. Oh, he got it today.
Yes, sir. We deserved it, man. And, I have a bone to pick with these Browns fans.
Yeah,
You just see some of their reaction. The way they talk about us is as if they were the 85 Bears or the 2000 Rams greatest show on turf. Let me just ramble off some facts. 0-16 season in 2017. They finally made the playoffs in 2020 after an 18-year drought. 6 different head coaches in the last 10 years. Never won a Super Bowl. Last time they won a playoff game was 1995 against the Patriots, so kudos to them. Thank you. Against a Brady-less team. He was in college, a freshman in college. So I say all this to say put the elf back on the shelf because
Oh, man. I wish I had thought of that. That would have been the lead-in to my fucking show yesterday.
That was a great one. I mean, we've been on the other end of that so many times year after year. It was great, man. We deserve it. Everybody, we've seen so much. And to get a win that way, I mean, there's no greater feeling. And the funny thing about it is this week coming up, the Browns are going to have to be rooting for us against the Bengals, so that makes it even better.
Oh, that makes it so sweet. I can't tell you how many people I saw in the chat and like even just text me like, yo, dude, I turned the game off after it went to 30-17. I was like, why would you do that? You can't every second counts. And I'm sitting there, and Becca's like feeding Shay like on the couch. Bali, my dog, is sleeping on the pillow. And like I just start jumping up and down. I was like, oh my God, Corey Davis scored a touchdown. Like, we got a shot. It's a little shot, but we got a shot.
It was definitely a miracle. I'm not going to lie,
Oh, yeah, no, you can't bank on that happening, but.
Yeah, and so let's see what happens this week. I mean, 3 keys: pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. The Bengals line is tenuous, so we have a chance to really get after Joe Burrow. Yeah,
100%. If you can make him feel uncomfortable and you can lock down Jamar Chase, I would love to see Sauce follow Jamar the entire day. Like, that is their key weapon to pay attention to. And then I want Quan Alexander to just shadow Joe Mixon the entire day. And I think if you can eliminate those two players, I think you have a really good shot at winning.
How about Quan? He's been doing his thing. That
Dude,
was a great sign.
What a great signing. He has been so clutch. You know, I hope he stays healthy for as long as possible. But, dude, it's been a big-time signing for the New York Jets.
That's what it comes down to, staying healthy. So, you know, I'm really proud of this team. You know, it was a hard week. You know, with Salah and everything, we came back and we showed the world who we are. So you just got to keep it up.
Dude, I love it. Thank you so much for calling in, brother. You have been ejected from the cockpit. Who we got? Who's next?
Call from
Frankie.
Frankie, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's up? I'm
Dude.
hyped about that win.
How good did that feel?
That win felt great, you know. But listen, my buddy's a Steelers fan. My other one's a Bengals fan, and my buddy that's a Steelers fan was giving me shit all week. He's like, "You guys couldn't beat the Ravens. We crushed the Ravens every time last week." He was giving me all that shit. Now, flip the scene. You lost to the Patriots. Patriots suck this year. I was giving him bad shit for it.
Dude, you got it. You got to talk a little trash when you got friends that have games coming up. Now the Bengals. What do you think happens?
Bengals. I know I'm a really hyped up Jet fan, you know, but I think Carl Lawson's gonna have a day. I think Quinn's gonna have a day against that poor interior offensive line. I think we're gonna go crazy.
Dude, I want to see like 5 sacks.
Burrow's been getting sacked in the last couple games 6+ times.
Oh yeah.
He's been eating it.
Dude, he's gonna keep getting shots. You just rattle him enough, he's not gonna be able to make the big plays that you are accustomed to.
Is Jermaine Johnson out for a while now?
I didn't see that. It looked like he was cramping. I don't know. I haven't seen his status. The last thing I heard from Robert Saleh was that we came out of this game with the evaluations and everything. We came out uninjured. We expect everyone to play this week. So I'm pretty sure Jermaine Johnson's totally fine, unless it just like slipped his brain and, didn't realize it. But it seems like he's going to be all right.
All right, thank God, because worst case scenario, you got Michael Clemens running after Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah. Dude, you got Clemens, Lawson, Quinnen, John Franklin Myers. Jermaine. Dude, just send the dogs. Blitz this dude like crazy.
Hopefully CJ plays a little revenge game. CJ number revenge game.
I would like to see that. I like when there's a little extra juice for guys that were on that team. So someone like Lawson, I think he could come away with a multi-sack game this week. I think he's absolutely going to, have that extra juice.
Yeah, but also, I'm saying for the Steelers game, I watched the Steelers-Patriots game with my buddy. The Steelers look awful.
Yeah. Dude, that team, the Steelers are they need to figure out the quarterback position, and I'm curious to see when they pull the trigger on Pickett going in.
Figure it out week 5. Week 5, figure it out. Not week 4.
Yeah, no. Don't. Let them keep stumbling a little bit. They look like about a half a season that they need.
Najee Harris did horrible. Breece Hall was playing better than him. That's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that I really fear on that team is Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not too worried with our defense. I think we're gonna be just fine, brother. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Yo, it's Vin. I see you over there saying, anyone know a good sculptor for the JD statue? Let's effing go. Let's build a statue out front of Joe Douglas. I like this. Got to win some games though. Got to keep winning games. This one game feels good, but I want 2 now. I want a second one. Who the hell is calling me on my actual phone? It's got a little note that says survey. Screw that. Get out of here. Who we got?
from
Charles Gorman.
Charles, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, Richie. I'm sorry. I called you Richie by accident.
What
Hey,
the
Ryan, how
heck?
are you?
Oh, you're getting ejected. No, I'm kidding. You're good. What's up, dude?
Hey, man. How are you? How's the family?
Oh, it's fantastic. It is absolutely great. Though I actually got to watch the entirety of the game with everyone.
Same
Shay
here.
was.
Part of me wanted to leave and smash something.
Oh, dude. I was like all sorts of like frustrated when like they wound up running the ball down our throat. We're trying to chop at the ball, trying to pop it out, and we just couldn't do anything. Ugh. But to watch everything come back.
With all due respect, I understand our defense didn't play very well. And this is not an excuse, it's kind of a fact. The Browns have a pretty solid offensive line unit. I mean, the Ravens do too, but the thing of it was, I think our defense is trying their best to develop some chemistry together. But the Browns, to me, outside of the Ravens, have the best rushing attack in all of football.
Mhm.
I mean, when they run the football as effectively as they do, when you got really, if you think about it, two all-pro caliber backs and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, you're going to win. You're going to rush for a lot of yards, and your chances of winning ball games are going to get bigger and bigger. However, even though I'm a Jets fan, I'm happy as hell that they won. The Browns defense played like shit. I mean, I was watching the Browns announcer Jim Donovan say, the defense has been bad. I mean, people say, oh, they'll fix it. It hasn't been fixed yet. Denzel Ward is one of the premier corners in the NFL. Like Corey Davis run right by his ass for a 66-yard touchdown.
Oh, dude, they deserve it. they fell asleep
I'm not
at the
saying
wheel.
They don't deserve it. I mean, for some of those classless Stephen Brown fans to make a somewhat of a statue of him is disgusting.
Dude, I wanted that game so bad. Like there's certain teams that I like, you want to beat more than another. Like I love beating the Patriots. Doesn't happen very frequently, but the Browns, after that whole Watson like contract and everything, dude, I was so burnt up about it.
Baker Mayfield over, who, by the way, has been playing like ass for the Panthers right now.
Yeah, he doesn't look too good right now either. That sucks. I do want to see Baker play well, and to have them go. I think they're 0-2 now.
He's very inconsistent.
What was that?
He's a talented guy, but he's very inconsistent.
Yeah, no, look, I don't think the Bengals are a very good team. Like, even if Sam Darnold started, regardless, I felt like that team was going to be a top 5 pick kind of a team. Baker, I thought he would have had a little more juice, and I thought he was going to beat the Browns last week, and I thought he was going to have a little bit better game. But
the Giants are playing very well.
What?
I said the Giants are playing very well.
Yeah, they're doing what they need to win. Saquon looks like he's back in action. Daniel Jones, I still don't believe he's the guy, though. Well, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Boys and girls, I love hearing all your thoughts on this game. Call-in numbers on the screen. You got 3 minutes to plead your case. After 3 minutes,
That's it. You're out of here.
that's right. Who we got?
From
Carson.
Ooh, Carson, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's going on, Ryan? How you doing this afternoon?
Dude, I am having a great night after a great come-from-behind win yesterday. I want to hear from you. How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. There's 3 things I kind of want to point out about the Jets yesterday. I'm elated that we won. I'm very excited we won. There's there's 3 key things. One that worries me is Jacoby Brissett completed 82% of his passes. That's a problem. There are 82% for a guy who has a career 57% completion percentage rating, and they're a run-heavy offense. That's a problem. I think the book is still out on Ulbricht. I don't think he's a good defensive coordinator. I just don't. Another thing is I think the refs were horrendous in this game. They were awful for both sides. And the third thing is, were you satisfied with how Max Mitchell played against Garrett? I know they moved Garrett all over the fields, and he allowed the sack to Jadeveon Clowney. But other than that, I think he held up his own against Clowney and Garrett for the most part. What do you think about Max Mitchell being our future right tackle?
I think I have a lot of hope for him. I think we'll find out, probably by the halfway point how he's going to do. Myles Garrett is a tough assignment, and Jadeveon Clowney is a tough assignment. Like, you're going to get beat. A 4th-round rookie going up against a former number 1 overall pick in either one of them. Jadeveon Clowney and Garrett were both number 1 overall. So it's clearly a skill projection way outside of where he should be. But Max played well. I like that they gave him a little bit of help on both sides, with Fant too. They tried to chip those edge rushers, and I like to continue seeing that. I think you should help your offensive line when you can help your offensive line. On the Jacoby Brissett completion percentage thing, he didn't scare me all that much. And I think the amount of run success that they had 5.1 yards on the ground with Chubb. They had 4.5 yards on the ground with Hunt. And Brissett ran for 43 yards. So, like, there's a lot of, trying to stop the run while also trying to guard against the pass. I think they had 6 throws to running backs in those screens. And I think our linebackers have really been the Achilles heel for the last 2 years in terms of those types of backs. And I think Mixon could cause us a little bit of trouble in the screen game. But if you can dial it in, contain him, maybe put someone like Whitehead or Quan, like just shadowing him the whole time, maybe that gets a little bit more success.
I think the quarters need to be more sticky. We need a pass rush this week. We really do. Because last week Brissett was able to drop back in the pocket and just absolutely dice us up back there. He did whatever he want. But let's go Jets. Let's go Jets. We're 1-1. Let's advance it to 2-1 next week. Let's wipe the Bengals out like we did last year. Let's do it, baby.
I love it. Carson's excited. I'm excited. This is great. He makes some great points. Really enjoy the insight. Lima Bean, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
I got so many points to make before I get the chicken. So
fire away.
Garrett Wilson, man, see, this is why we draft wide receivers instead of damn safeties and linebackers, man. You think Kyle Hamilton is making that 21 comeback to the Dolphins had do anything? Nah, he don't do that.
Nah, no way, no way.
No, see, and that was a free safety, and he had a 21-point lead, and he couldn't guard shit. So, this is why we need explosive players and doing all that stuff. You get those, mediocre, unless we want to be like the Bears and end up like Justin Fields turning on the fans, yeah, we get draft safeties and linebackers all day, but, no, I'm so excited for the kid. He looks like a baller, and so does, it'll get better. So, when Zach's ready, we got to put him in there just because, look, Tyrod Taylor got the Bills and broke their playoff drought after 20-something years, and they still kicked him out and put in Josh Allen. Same thing with Kurt Warner with Eli Manning, and so many examples after that. There's just Joe Flacco's not the future, so we got to get Zach in and just get him acclimated, and get him to go and see what we have, and all the 14 games hopefully.
Yeah, that's just it. You have to know what you have in Zach by the end of the season. You have to give him as many reps as possible. Now, if they go on a run, and let's say they win the Bengal game, they win the Steeler game with Joe Flacco.
As much as you want to say that, but then how long can we go? Do you honestly think we're going to go on such a magical run? Let's say we do and have another 2015. How did that end up for the long term?
No, well, it's worse if we don't find out what Zach has. 100% it's worse if you don't find out what Zach has.
The Bills threw out Tyrod Taylor yesterday's trash, and he got and broke their playoff thing, and they still put in Josh Allen with Nathan Peterson. So think about that. It's not worth it for the long term. And as soon as he's ready, he's been practicing last week, probably another week this week, and maybe next week. So yeah, he's going to have his ups and downs, but this is how you get experience. Otherwise, you're going to go through that, how can you get experience without getting the job first? You got to you got to have reps on the field. That's the biggest thing. You got to have reps with your teammates. You got to build some chemistry with your young receivers. You got to think Zach hasn't practiced, since early August. It was the first game, right? Against the Eagles. Yeah,
that was.
It's been a while, and he was looking great, but then all of a sudden, Flacco became.
Well, he wasn't looking great. Yeah, that Eagles game was
it's all about the offensive line. I'm watching this Monday Night Football game, and Allen has so much time to throw and do all these things. That's honestly the goal. And then Zach learning to read defenses. We get those two things down, we're great. And then lastly, I'm enjoying the Panthers lose because fuck their coach. And then fuck Justin Fields too, because who needs a running back playing quarterback, right? So that's my take. That's why you got to get weapons. That's why you do those push-ups and pull-ups and do those things, as Parcells once said. So yeah, no free safeties until next year.
I love it.
Listen, you're out of here!
Jensen from the cockpit. See, I try to put on the Bills game. It's giving me the Eagles game. What the hell is this? We gotta change the channel. Try this one. I don't know. I just got Eagles Titans. Very odd. All right, who we got?
From
Indiana Jets.
Indiana Jets, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, what's going on, Ryan? What's going on?
Dude,
Hey,
I'm hanging in there. I've enjoyed the last day. It's been really nice. Talk to me. What's on your mind?
Victory Monday feels like it's a whole surreal thing for us, isn't it?
Oh, dude, it's been way too long. We've had, what, like 6 wins in the last 2 years? So to finally get one in September where it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe we can get to that 500 mark.
Man, it's rough being a Jets fan, but we all bleed green, don't we?
Oh, 100%, dude. I absolutely love it. How'd you feel?
Here's my question.
Yeah, let's go.
Here's my question. We all agree that Garrett Wilson needs to be on the field more, correct? You agree with that?
Absolutely. After yesterday's performance, you have to.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So here's my question. As I'm looking at the snap counts, who is coming off the field? Are we taking snaps away from Corey Davis? Are we taking snaps away from Braxton? Or who is coming off the field for Garrett Wilson to be on the field? That's my question of the night. Who do we have to take off?
So for me, I would like to keep Davis, Moore, and Wilson on the field at all times. And then when you have to give someone a breather, Berrios swaps in for whoever that is. Like, I really like Berrios. And even if you want to run 4 wide receiver sets, I'm fine with that. But I think we want to see a lot more of the tight end. And I think they want to try and run the ball a little bit. So I think 3 wide receivers is what you're going to see the majority of the time. And I think you're going to have enough opportunities where Berrios can come in with special packages. Maybe they want to do an end around or something like that. And it also depends on how Zach clicks with certain guys. Like, maybe he's just not going to click as quickly with Garrett Wilson. So maybe you lean a little bit more on Braxton Berrios, but then you try to keep maybe Corey Davis off the field. And you have Garrett Wilson, Braxton Berrios, Elijah Moore, and you get some of the young guys that are going to stay in there for a little bit longer. I don't know. It's interesting. What would you do in that situation?
That's a tough question because, you know, you have Elijah Moore who has 136 out of the 154 total snaps. And then Corey Davis has only had 112. Garrett Wilson's 84, Braxton's 55. So somebody's going to have to lose somewhere. So I'm just trying to figure out who we don't want on the field.
I don't think it's that they don't want someone on the field. Like, I think that's what's so nice about our current depth is, like, if someone goes down or someone needs a breather, you've got another guy that could be a starter on another team. Like, we are 4 wide receivers deep plus the potential in Denzel Mims. So, like, even if you lose a guy, like, there's going to be injury throughout the season. Like, you're going to wind up losing one of these wide receivers for at least some sort of stretch of time.
Yeah, and did you think that Elijah Moore was a little gassed right there at the end, and that's why he wasn't on the field?
No, I wouldn't say he was gassed. I would say that Garrett Wilson was just the hot hand at that point in time. So I'm pretty happy with having whoever's playing well getting those touches. No problem with that at all. But brother, thanks so much for the call. You have been ejected from the cockpit. Who we got?
Call from.
Oh, no. You hung up on me. I was going to answer your call. Ah. Poor K. Boys and girls, you got 3 minutes on the clock to plead your case. Ask me a question. Talk about the game. After 3 minutes, you get ejected.
Call from.
Tigo from Talking Jets with Tigo.
Tigo, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Oh my gosh. Has your heart stopped racing since that game, Ryan? Because mine has been beaten easily over 100 beats per minute since the end of that game.
Dude, such a rush. That was like the first time since 2015 that I really, really got excited.
I was going to say the same thing. I put it in the chat. This is the first time since the Bulls, since before the Bulls era.
Yeah.
We come away from a win, and it's not just like, okay, cool, we got a W, but like, I came away from this win excited for next week and for the future and what we saw out of our boys. Like, it's just like, I don't know, just hyped. I don't want it to end. Let's just end the season now so that we can end winners.
Dude, we've needed this for the longest time. We really have. And to actually have this happen where you can, like, build on it for the next week. Like, it's much better trying to have this type of win than to lose this type of way. Like, how many times have we been on the Brown side of things? Like, you're talking back to like the the friggin' Bucks game last year, we lose on one of the last plays. The Raider game 2 years before that, where we were all like kind of happy because we were trying to get Trevor Lawrence at that point. But even still, like, we're usually on the losing end of this sort of stuff.
And like, you're lying if you're saying that when they got the ball back with like the 12 seconds or whatever it is that they had left, 22 seconds that they had left, you're lying through your teeth if you're a Jets fan and you say you didn't like at least 51% believe that they were going to march down and Cade York was going to put that through.
Oh, no way. No, so when I saw that, I thought like, oh, no way, we got this. Our defense has been playing all right. They're not going to run the ball. We're going to stop them right here. And then I think it was Brissett had a nice run, and I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. Like, that was way longer than I wanted. They just need a field goal. And then they threw that pass, and oh, thank God we got the pick, because that was going to give me heartburn.
It's my favorite thing about this win, like, or just how we played this game, is specifically is the players. So, like what I mean by that is Garrett Wilson goes down with an injury. He comes back. Sauce Gardner possibly gets a concussion. He comes back. JJ goes down. He comes back. Quinnen goes down. He comes back. JSN goes down. He comes back. Every single player could have really, because these are stars. These are not like, we're not sitting here talking about Tony Adams, right? These are the stars. These are the guys that are supposed to lead our team moving into the future and change this Jets culture. And they could have really easily, just like the left tackle at Houston did last year. He suffers a minor injury and he just cans his whole season because he's not Laramie Tunsil because he didn't want to play for a losing team. No. This team believes, even down, there was a minute and 55 seconds left, and we're down 13. But this,
I love it. Tigo has been ejected from the cockpit. Tigo makes a ton of sense. I absolutely love where he's coming from. Shivanshu drops in. Sorry about that. Shivansu drops in and says, locker rooms shouldn't be divided as long as coaching shows the players how they grow together for the long-term future. Plus, I think players really like Zach. I think the ceiling is so high with Zach Wilson that I think players are going to be fine with it. But if Zach comes back and he starts throwing a bunch of picks and he starts fumbling the ball or he starts taking a lot of sacks and it's like, okay, now we're getting, a touchdown and maybe we're getting blown out, then I think you start to get concerned. But you got to see what you have in him, right? Like, Joe Flacco is great to have as a backup, but Zach Wilson's astronomical ceiling is where this team could really win some games. Like, Zach is going to be the reason why you can hang with some of the top tier teams in this league. So I'm with you, Shivanshu, or Lima Bean. I definitely think the team will like having him back. Drillo, the Jets fan, says, if the O-line continues to settle down, do you risk moving Fant back to right tackle when Dwayne Brown is ready and possibly screw up the chemistry of the group? I don't know if I do. I think it depends how Max Mitchell's playing. If Max Mitchell is playing well, or at least like, if you're grading him on a scale from 1 to 100 and he's playing at like an 80, I don't think you move him. I think he is the answer at that point that you hope to have at right tackle long term, because it means more to find out what you have in him and then let Fant and Brown duke it out, and whoever wins that battle plays left tackle. I would rather see that. This, to me, doesn't feel the same as when Becton went down and you have Moses and you have Fant, because, Becton came back this year. Like, he should be the left tackle because he didn't actually, give it up. He just got hurt. For me, Brown hasn't necessarily earned that spot, where if Fant starts playing well, I would rather Dwayne Brown and Fant kind of duke it out at left tackle and let the young guy ride it out at right tackle. Now, if he starts having a bad, season or starts giving up a lot of sacks, then yeah, look, you got to find out what you have in Zach first and let Max Mitchell kind of learn with some reps, and he's already got some starting experience right now. So, it depends how the team's playing, I think, for me. Anthony says, loved having and meeting you at the Jet Lounge tailgate. Nice meeting you, Anthony. Huge win yesterday. Let's go. The Jet Lounge tailgate for week 1 was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Got to meet a whole bunch of you guys. It's fun putting faces to like the screen names that are on here, because how many guys have you like? How many guys do I talk to all the time in this chat? You guys are always in here. You know who you are. And to be able to like meet you in person and really have conversations face to face, it's cool. It's a lot of fun. I've always really enjoyed that aspect of it. So thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out. All right, let me get back to the phone lines. Get back over there. 3 minutes on the clock. Plead your case. Ask me whatever questions you want. And then after 3 minutes, you get the chicken. Who we got?
From
Mark from Asbury Park.
Mark from Asbury Park. What's up, dude? Welcome back to the cockpit.
Wow. You know, I always open the call with the 973 to the 732 because that's how I roll in NJ, baby.
Oh, yeah. I love it. How you feeling after yesterday's win?
Are you kidding me? I was drinking Modelo, and I almost threw it at the screen of my TV. Can you believe that onside? Was that the first time in 6 years we did that?
It feels like it.
Oh, my gosh. Comment and a question, and then I'm going to listen to what you say, okay?
Sure.
Comment. Garrett Wilson.
Oh,
Does
dude.
Does he not remind you? And I think the number of his jersey is the same. Does he not remind you of like a young Plexico Burris?
Oh, dude, he's shiftier, I think, than Plexico. Like, Plexico is more of like, I don't want to call him a string bean, but he was more of that deep threat, go up and get it, where Garrett Wilson is a go up and get it guy, but it's more of a leaping ability than it is like pure height. And I feel like the route running was always lackluster on Plexico. Like, he was always kind of that guy that, you know, relied more on his physical traits than maybe his technical side of his game.
Well, let's not hope that our wide receiver goes to a club with sweatpants and a gun in his pants.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see that.
No. So, concerns. Offensive line. I understand the Mitchell thing and all that, but McGovern, come on.
Yeah, dude, McGovern has absolutely driven me up a wall, and I think this is exactly why you started seeing the Jets start to look at Jensen, start to look at Bradbury, start to look at Linderbaum, start to look at Lindstrom, or not Lindstrom. Oh God, who's the other guy? The guy from Boston College. Maybe it was Lindstrom. No, it wasn't.
No.
Who the hell am I forgetting?
So my next question is,
Mm-hmm.
what's your priority 1 through 3 in next year's draft? Like, do you go safety, linebacker, offensive line? What's your concern?
So I'm going into the offseason, and the first person I'm looking at is Orlando Brown from Kansas City. If he doesn't get franchise tagged, I'm throwing the bag at him. Zion Johnson, thank you, Zachary Berner. That was the guy I was trying to think of. Yeah, Orlando Brown. He's played left tackle. He's played right tackle. He played for the Baltimore Ravens. I think there's a connection there with Joe Douglas. I think he can trust some of the scouting, and I think he likes the versatility of it. I would throw the absolute bag at that dude to go get him. Then you now free up your first-round pick, and you say, okay, we need a safety, we need a linebacker, we need a center. Maybe this is a draft that you decide, hey, I want to trade down because we think we can accumulate maybe a few more second-round picks or something like that. And you start to plug in a few of these holes. And Becton, you wind up not exercising his fifth-year option. You let him compete for right tackle, for left tackle, whatever. You already have Dwayne Brown signed under contract. I think Fant inevitably will end up walking unless he decides to sign a much more team-friendly deal. But brother, thank you so much for the call. You have been ejected from the cockpit. Super Game and Chill Bros. Thank you for the super chat. He says, are you going to the Bengals game this Sunday? I never got to meet you because you were because we were taking the train in. Hopefully, you'll be there this Sunday. I won't be there this Sunday. As of right now, I haven't planned on going to any other games. I really do enjoy the games at home, but oh, man, it is fun going to the games. I think the next game I might look to go to is Jets-Patriots on October 30th. I don't know if I'm going to do it, though. One of my friends reached out to me, said she was going to do a group buy of tickets, and it's piqued my interest. But I don't know if I'm going to make the move at that point. We'll see. I'll keep you guys in the loop either way. But I'm very, very much looking forward to this Bengal game and watching that. All right. Back to the calls. You get 3 minutes on the clock. After 3 minutes, boom, you get ejected from the cockpit. Peter, what's the last four of your number, Peter? He says, Ryan, take my call. I want to share my experience at the game yesterday. So you were at the game, at the Browns game. Show me your last four. If I see your last four, I'll try to call you back if I see it on there. Who we got?
From
Captain Savage.
Hey, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's going on, brother Ryan? Yes, brother. You hear me, brother Gangrene? We are here, baby. Let's go. Let's do it.
Dude,
Talk
how
to me.
good did that win feel?
Yo, brother, listen to me. This kid Wilson, he looks like he's going to be special, man. I mean, the poise this kid has to have that drop and then come back and make that play. I mean, that's big time, bro.
Dude,
that's big time.
I was crushed. I thought for sure that was going to be not the kiss of death, but I thought that was going to be man, he almost had a really good game. He dropped such an easy pass, and for him to come back, show some grit.
Absolutely shows this kid got stoned, and to do it, in his hometown where he went to school and had success at Ohio State, that shows a lot. Usually we don't have luck with those Ohio State wide receivers and then to go home and to show out like that. That shows a lot about this kid. But let's give kudos to this offensive line. Down the stretch, holding up, giving Flacco time to find them too. I mean, they got murdered in the Ravens game, and rightly so, crucified in the media, everything. But to hold up, and the job they did down the stretch, that shows a lot about this line too.
Oh, 100%. This team fought hard for their coach and for each other.
Absolutely. I mean, Salah with the receipts and the media and getting crushed for that. And then to get this win, to him go to the podium and be humble and I think learn a lesson to, about that. Just win, baby. I mean, no comments didn't bother me so much, but let's just take care of business on the field and you can say all you want.
100%. The fact that these guys are as humble as they are, Jermaine Johnson, great interview at the Combine, seems incredibly humble. Sauce Gardner talks a lot of shit, but a very humble dude. Garrett Wilson, very humble. I haven't really heard much of Breece Hall talking, but overall, you can tell the mindset that the Jets have tried to bring in. Guys that were captains on their college team, guys that bring a certain mindset to every practice.
Absolutely. And it's a breath of fresh air because we all used to being on the opposite side of these. And you're damn right, fuck you, Cleveland, because you remember in that fucking Bud Light Bowl last year, Monday night, where y'all was celebrating like that was your Super Bowl because y'all didn't win no games the year before. Now it's back in your fucking face, all right?
Oh, dude, I just wanted to see them just squirm, especially because we had those not 2 games in a row, but we had the Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield game where oh, that one sucked. So it's nice to finally get one against the Brownies.
Absolutely, man. It felt good. But what's your game plan?
Thank you so much for the call. You been ejected from the cockpit. Sorry, dude. Good call. Great call. Zach drops in. Zach says, if Mitchell works out, he's the proof that we can trust in Joe Douglas. Also, why does no one talk about our field's condition being such an impact on our injuries? That is not an uncommon thought, Zach. We've definitely had a lot of people upset with the way the Jets offense, not the Jets offense, but the Jets field to the point where they actually investigated it to see if there was any issue, any sort of structural integrity or something that wasn't up to snuff. And I think that was after, was that after the 49er game where Bosa got injured and Jimmy G got hurt and like basically everyone wound up getting whacked. I think that was that year. Maybe it was the year after. But yeah, people are concerned about it. Now, we didn't have any injuries, any serious injuries that are going to keep anyone out in Cleveland. I'd love to know what their field's made out of. Is it the same stuff? Why is there not like just some standard across the league? I feel like everyone should just get their turf or rubberized turf from the same supplier, so it's always the same. Maybe they do, and I just like don't know how that's done. I do miss a little bit of the grass field, but at the same time, these guys are so much faster on turf. If you haven't run on turf and you have the opportunity to do it, give it a try because you run so fast. I got to do it when I was running track as a high school student. You jump farther, you run faster because there's no give. You stick and you go. It's fascinating. But then you still get that kind of like, it's not quite as bad as AstroTurf used to be. AstroTurf has that like plastic carpet burn that you get. This stuff, while it doesn't feel great, the rubberized pellets make it a lot more bearable. All right, what else we got going on? Peter, I'm still looking for your phone number popping up. I don't see it at all. Phone number's on the screen. Who we got? No, he hung up on me. Or maybe not.
From
Kevin.
What's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, it's good to be here. Let me tell you, I'm very impressed with the Jets win this week. And, I called in a little concerned about LaFleur's play calling last week.
Yep.
But you know what? He showed maturity, and he adjusted the plan, which we haven't seen from lots of coaches. And he used Garrett Wilson more. He had the end arounds. He had the trick plays. I mean, I give solid credit for that's a ballsy fake punt. That is a ballsy fake punt right there. And there was a coaching staff that was clearly, I feel like they felt cornered and they needed to win a game and they were going to throw out all the stops to go win a game. And I like that attitude. A little concerned with the defense still. Our linebackers are a real concern. CJ looks slow. I don't know what Quincy Williams is quite doing out there. Definitely something we have to address moving forward, but nevertheless, still a great win, still a great team effort by everybody. But moving forward, and what I'll tell people is if you're going to the Jet game, get in the building early. Let's be loud. Let's get excited. Let's give the Jets the home field advantage in this game against the Bengals. Bengals are 0-2. Their O-line is terrible. Joe Burrow's been sacked 13 times in 2 games. This is a winnable game. And could you imagine if the Jets are 2-1 going into Pittsburgh with Zach Wilson? That would be quite the story. So,
dude, when's the last time the Jets had a winning record? Like seriously, legitimately a winning record? Probably. I mean, I think it's 2015. I don't think we've had a winning record since then. Because, I mean, we haven't won a September game in 3 years, which automatically puts you at 0-4. So, I think that's the last time we had a winning record.
This is their opportunity to really step up and make a statement to the NFL. We want to stop being a laughing stock to the NFL. We want to really make a statement game. This is it. And I'm not saying it's, win or lose for the season, but this is a big game, I think. If they can go out there in a home game and take advantage of a Bengals team that just looks like they have the Super Bowl hangover and get to 2-1, let me tell you, there's a lot of receipts that Robert Sla's going to be collecting after that. Because that would be a huge thing. I don't think anybody would say the Jets would be 2-1, but they got to go out there and take care of business. And I really want to see how this team answers this big win.
Yeah, 100%. If they can come out and they find a way to win this Sunday, then all of a sudden you look at the Steeler game and you're like, okay, no T.J. Watt, interesting. I don't fear Trubisky. I don't fear Pickett, regardless of who's the quarterback. Makes me feel all right. Maybe we're 2-1. heading into a game that we feel confident, maybe not confident, but optimistic that we could maybe be 3-1. It's going to be interesting.
Yep.
Boom.
That's it. You're out of here.
Who we got?
Call from
Mr. Motivation.
to accept. Press 1.
Oh, what's up, dude? Mr. Motivation.
Ryan, how's it going, man?
Dude, I am having a grand old time. It has been a very long time since I felt this good after a Jet win.
Oh, for sure. Especially in the month of September. It took us 4 years to get a win in September, but hey, it finally paid off.
Dude, it took way too long. How are you feeling moving on to the Bengal game this week?
Honestly, I feel a little more confident going against the Bengals. I mean, they're going to put up a fight knowing the fact that they lost 2 in a row, but as long as Flacco can do the same thing he's been doing for the past 2 weeks, there's no doubt in my mind I think we could clinch it by a field goal.
Dude, I think we can definitely beat them. Well, they lost by a field goal, I think, the last 2 weeks, right? The Steeler game and who the hell did they play yesterday?
Yes, all 2 of them were by field goals.
Yeah, 100%. We could do it. I trust Zerline.
Oh, yes, and I hope our O-line can hold up just like they did yesterday because, dude, I'm still in Cleveland right now as we speak, and it was just a fun experience just being there.
Now, how was it like? Were you in the stadium or were you just like in Cleveland in general?
No, I was in the stadium.
How did you feel? Like, what did it feel like in that stadium? Did you stay the whole time?
Yes, I did.
Oh, dude, that's a hell of a game.
The atmosphere was crazy because, honestly, them Brown fans, let me tell you, they know how to party. I will tell you that. But going into the game, like, I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I didn't have confidence in the beginning. But then out of nowhere, when the onside kick happened, I just lost my mind. It's like, I don't know what to say because that's something rare that barely happens when it comes to us.
Dude, onside kicks just don't. I think Robert Saleh said it today. It's a 7% chance of getting it. I thought it was even lower than that. I thought it was like 2 or 3% chance. But even still, the fact that you were able to get that kick and you were able to tap it in, Parks being able to knock it back. As soon as we got the onside kick, I look at Beck and I was like, we're going to win this game. Like, the Jets are going to march down this field right now, and we're going to win the game. Like, I felt confident in that. There's no way the Jets were not going to score once they got that return or once they got that recovery.
And Garrett Wilson is showing that potential as a true first-round pick.
Dude, he has been so impressive. Like, even he had, 3 catches or 4 targets in the week 1? The guy looks legit, and I think he's going to be something special.
He definitely is, man. He definitely is. But all in all, man, it was just so fun just being at the game.
Dude, what was the tailgate like? Like, I don't know. Like, I've only ever been to, like, the Dolphins Stadium. I've never been to, like, Cleveland.
Cleveland, like, let's just say that, like, if you want a tailgate, you have to go, like, all over downtown and walk a distance.
I got you. Okay, so it's more of an inner city kind of stadium. Brother, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. I see Mr. Old Mellow Yellow jumping in. He says, not sure if someone has said this or not yet, because I just joined the stream, but the difference between the O-line in the game 1 versus game 2 is night and day. Max Mitchell looks great as well. I have really liked what we've gotten out of Mitchell so far. And it's not like he's any kind of world beater, but he's a 4th-round rookie going up against Calais Campbell. 4th-round rookie going up against 2 former number 1 overall picks in Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett. When you have a young guy that gives up a strip sack because of that, I'm okay. I am all right with that. Because you know what? Those guys are otherworldly type talented, like incredibly talented. And that's not to say Max Mitchell isn't, but he held his own for the most part yesterday. And I think there is a legitimate starting right tackle brewing just below the surface right there. And I think I'm, to the point where I would not put Fant back at the right-hand side. I would let Fant and Brown duke it out and let Mitchell continue to grow throughout this season. King Choice says, I'll take the lucky W. God knows we need it For the sake of our mental health, now I say this part with love, but can Sauce please turn his head around so he can pick the ball off? It's there for him. He's going to wind up getting some interceptions this year. It is going to happen. I think teams are afraid to throw his direction because he is that good. Now, the throws that we've seen against him, you know, he got his hand up in the Ravens game, stopped the touchdown, and then he stopped the second touchdown this past week. Was it Amari Cooper? Who'd they throw it to in like the corner of the end zone where the guy bobbled it? I mean, he had perfect coverage there. That was just a great throw, a great almost catch. They called it a catch on the field, wound up overturning it. And then he made a mental error, and they wound up scoring on, I think it was the next play or very close after that. But I think Sauce, if he can start to bait people, or if we can start to get, you know, maybe we start shading coverage the opposite direction. You let Sauce go man up with the best receiver on the field. Like, I would love to see him trail Jamar Chase all day next week or this week coming up, because I think he is so talented. You look at the length he has the recovery speed. And look, there's a few things that he can clean up. I'm not going to say he's perfect right now, but for a number 4 overall pick, a young guy going up against some really good weapons right now. They had him on Mark Andrews last week. I want to see him stay on the best player on the other team's offense. That's what I want to see. But yes, get his head around, get some interceptions. Buffalo playing well. They are 24-7 over the Titans, and they are almost at the 50-yard line. Josh Allen is something special. He has been incredible to watch. Like, it's hard to as a Jet fan, I want to hate the Bills and I want to hate them playing well. But man, they are an exciting team to watch. They really are. Who we got?
Call from
Malik.
What's good, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up with it, my guy?
Dude, it feels so good to finally get a win. Talk to me. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. It was a great W, man. We came through. We did our thing, man. But just to speak on a couple points, man, I just feel like, you know, like don't get it twisted. I love the W, but I just think that we definitely should clean up a couple things, man. Like, starting off, man, I think we should be feeding Breece Hall the ball. Like, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, I think Michael Carter has done such a good job in like very tight spaces with an offensive line that's still learning to gel together. I love the carry split right now. I think yesterday Breece did have the better game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just pull it up real quick. Yeah, Breece ran for 7.1 yards a carry. He had 50 yards on 7 carries, and Michael Carter had 7 carries as well, only had 23 yards. So, you know, obviously Breece doubled the yards per attempt. Carter did have 5 receptions for 27 yards, and Breece had the 1 reception for the 10 yards and a touchdown. This is a two-headed beast. Give the guys a chance to stay healthy. Give the guys a chance to kind of feed the hot hand. I'm fine with leaning on whichever guy is playing well.
I guess my stance on it is, like, we kind of drafted Breece high, you know, and I think
sure.
I think that Breece is one of those guys, like, cause Cleveland Browns, look how they run the team with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, and I see Nick Chubb and Breece Hall. I think that Breece Hall can be one of them guys. Like, you gotta feed the running backs. You gotta let them get in sync. I think he should be getting the ball like maybe 15 carries, maybe 20. Let Michael Carter. You know what I'm saying? At least until Zach Wilson gets healthy, that's the best way to limit what Joe Flacco can mess up, because he can be good, but he can mess up as well. And that's how we set up the play action and really get Garrett Wilson a stud. I think I was on a call when I told you Garrett Wilson reminded me of Odell. You know what I mean? And he does. Like, he reminds me of Odell. So I think that we should feed the ball to Breece Hall and let Garrett Wilson cook up. We think about that.
Yeah, no, I think you got to keep feeding the ball to Garrett Wilson. I think him and Elijah Moore are just going to be something really special. I think Corey Davis has played well this year. I think we have 3 legitimate weapons that could be a number 1 or at least a high caliber number 2 on any team in the NFL. And I think that between Breece Hall and Michael Carter, I think they're both going to extend each other's careers. And Michael Carter, last year he got a little banged up, and I think we will eventually, if we can start winning some games or scoring some points early where the Jets can try to take some time off the clock, that's when I think you start seeing Breece Hall and you start running him up the gut and you start punishing teams and you let him I don't know. I see Randilla in the chat. It says Breece passes the eye test. I couldn't agree more. I think he's absolutely going to be that guy. I think it's just a matter of the offensive line gelling right there. But brother, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Boys and girls, we got just 30 minutes left in the call-in show. Make sure you call in, hear your voices, or I want to hear your voices. Oh, I know who this is.
From
Chris from Florida.
To accept, press 1.
Chris from Florida! What's good?
It's time for a Jets fan rant. Yo, let's give it up for the New York Jets, baby. Everybody stand up and give me a J-E-T-S, Jets. Wow, what a game.
Dude, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. My wife had Shay sleeping in her arms. She's like, "Oh, this is so great, la la la." I'm just like, "Let's effing go!" Oh, beating my chest around the living room. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Welcome to the Jet fan family, Shay. This is one of hopefully many to come of your daddy screaming his head off.
Dude, I've missed talking shit for the longest time, so to finally have a game where I could just mouth off to the Browns fans, it feels so good.
Oh, I don't like chocolate, but brownies never tasted so good in the taste of victory. When you go ahead and you decide, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it like this. When they let Corey Davis get that touchdown and you saw the defense lag on catching up to him, it was disrespectful and the team felt it. And like we all have been saying, this team is special. This team is special. Braden Mann heard the noise. He said, "I am a punter. They drafted me for a reason." Ashton Davis icing the game at the end. And then Garrett Wilson having the game of his life, people. Garrett Wilson got hurt. He said, "Get me back on that field, coach. I need to show something." And then he caught the ball as soon as he touches the field. And he says to the team out there, "Who you think you messing with? This is my team. Let's go. Let's go get hype, people."
How good is this? These guys feel like they're fighting for each other. This feels like a team that you could be proud of. The last few years with Jamal Adams and Sam Darnold kind of having a little bit of the this is a team I want to root for. If you can wind up having Zach Wilson come back and he starts if he could rip off a 300-yard game, you could just you see the quarterback do well, then it's all going to start clicking.
Believe in the culture. Believe in the system. Believe in the all gas, no break. 60%. All these quotes Robert Saleh is, the team is showing appreciation and preaching for. And they are playing for their coaches, not just Saleh, the coaches. Let's do this one more time. J-E-T-S. Jets.
Brother, I love it so much. You are being ejected from the cockpit. Chris always bringing the energy. Absolutely love it on a Monday night. Boys and girls, if you're just hanging out, just hopping in, make sure you hit the like button. Always goes a long way. People wind up watching this after the fact, and it's always nice to see a few more likes on there as it helps the channel grow. Do your part. Who we got?
From
Vinny.
Oh, Vinny, how you doing, brother?
If you saw my shotgun on Twitter, you know how I'm doing.
I didn't see it, but dude, that's awesome. Dude, that was such a great game. Great way to end it.
Oh yeah, no, I can tell you when Ashton Davis iced the game with the interception, I lifted my mother in the air.
Dude, the Ashton Davis interception had me jumping up and down. Literally, the minute we got the onside kick, I was like, okay, Jets are going to win this game. And you go down, you score a touchdown. I was like, we're going to get the extra point. It's fine. Not concerned. Kick it off. I'm not worried about Jacoby Brissett. And then Jacoby winds up having that run, and I'm like, I don't love that. they got a little bit more time than I like. This makes me feel uncomfortable. I watch the ball go up and I'm like, oh my God, Ashton's coming down with it. Thank God. Thank God.
Oh my God. No. The best part about this game is not only the Jets win, but I love to see the mental hurdles Browns fans are trying to pull on Twitter for explaining why Nick Chubb didn't ice the game.
Oh, dude, look, you can't blame Chubb for not icing the game. It's a shame on the coaches for not telling him about it, but just having Chubb like.
No, but like I said, you're gonna love this. One of them actually tried to argue is what if Jacoby Brissett fumbled in the victory formation?
That's ridiculous. That's absurd.
The whole point of the victory formation is to make sure it is impossible to fumble. If you fumble in victory formation, you shouldn't be playing on a Pee-wee football team.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. Look, Chubb needs to... It would have been tough. He would have had to try and fall within a yard and a half in a split-second decision without having been told what was going on. Like, look, if you see touchdown, you're thinking, okay, look, there's no reason to think that this isn't going to be a victory. Like, all you need is your defense to not blow coverage. You need a 5% chance of losing the onside kick. And then you need the Jets to go all the way down the field with no timeouts to score a touchdown. And then you have to hope that the Jets defense prevents the Browns from going down the field. I mean, it was such an astronomically small chance.
Yeah, I know. But the best part about this game is this game shows you the Jets truly have changed. Because let's be real here. The Jets of old would let their mistakes consume them. You could make 1,000 mistakes in the world against the old Jets, and it wouldn't matter because they could never capitalize on anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's a new
that's the thing
team.
here.
It is a
the
new
best part
team.
Is, you look at it, the Bengals are cold as ice. The Steelers have no offense. I mean, the Broncos look like a mess. There's a couple of games here.
Boom! Vinny, you've been ejected from the cockpit. I like what you're saying, though. I don't disagree.
Call from
AbLab Studios.
AbLab, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Oh, man, how's your victory Monday, man?
Oh, dude, it felt so good to go into work and actually be proud of this team. Like, legitimately excited. Like, I had a Lions fan come in. He goes, dude, when's the last time the Lions and the Jets won on the same day? I was like,
I know.
fucking never. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I was thinking the same thing, man. As I was scouring the internet, buying all of my extra Jets paraphernalia, they really got me this time. Every time they win, they're going to get somebody to me. Let me tell you something, man.
That's totally fine.
Jets Nation. I'm going to talk to all Jets Nation right now, Ryan, if I may take control of the cockpit.
Absolutely. The cockpit's yours.
I don't want us to hang. Listen, guys, we can't hang our heads, man. All right? We got to enjoy this, and we can't get down on this team if we incur a tough loss. We can pick it. We can pick it apart. That's the job for Ryan, Green Bean, and all the guys to kind of break it down for us and make sense out of it. But as a crew, these are new days, okay? We saw it. We felt it. Come on. When does it happen that we are down 2 scores and we get these comedy of errors that happens in our favor? And
Dude,
we have a coach
never
that comes out a week before and makes a bold statement about getting receipts and how we're all down on him. I'm telling you guys, this is not coincidence. This is destiny. It's going to happen. I think next week we should have a really. I'd love to see this Garrett Wilson. He broke out this week. I think next week is Breece Hall's turn with that defensive line. I don't know how the Bengals fare against the run. I think that our offensive line is gelling, and we should be able to get some creases in there for him to, exhibit his patience and crack one. Like, what do you feel? Don't you feel like every time you saw him, you felt like he was going to break one, didn't you?
It felt like our running backs in general. Like, I trust Michael Carter to make the catch out in space. I trust Breece Hall. It's just a matter of the offensive line. Like, for me, it's the offensive line gelling that will prevent the quick sacks. And I do feel like we have a better shot against the Bengals defense because they don't have those like insanely high caliber edge rushers that we had to see the first 2 weeks. And I think that each week this offensive line is going to grow. They're going to gel a little bit more. I just want to see this. Like, I want to stop
But
seeing
they're
the
going to come in hot,
self-inflicted
man.
wounds.
The Bengals are going to come in hot and
Dude, they're
angry
pissed.
and hot.
They're 0-2. They've lost 2 games by 3 points. Like, they're going to try and come out and throttle us, especially after beating them last year.
Yeah, and we can't get discouraged. Hopefully, as a team,
Mm-hmm.
because we may hit a couple of speed bumps there. But being that we're home, everybody, all you guys, if you're going to the
Listen, you're out of here. I love it, Ablab. Saying some good shit. I like it. We got 22 minutes left in the call-in show. Who we got?
Call from
Sam.
Sam, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, Ryan, I hope you're doing just as well as I am after the not only wonderful game we got to watch as Jets fans yesterday, but a hell of a day around the league.
Dude, it was such good football. This whole season has been really good. We've seen a ton of games within 3 points of each other, and to watch the Jets be competitive in 2 games in a row really feels good.
Oh, it was beautiful. I'm going to be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw Cleveland go up that last, or put their last score on the board,
yep,
I'm like, screw this. I go to my parents' house for dinner on Sunday, so I'm like, I'm just going to go there and listen to it on the radio.
Yep.
And next thing I know, I hear we recovered an onside kick, and I'm sitting in my car. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
What did I just do?
Yeah. You know what? Maybe it was me turning the game off. I don't know. But
Dude, I've always felt the same way. Oh man, I'm not watching or I'm not doing something, and now all of a sudden we have an opportunity to possibly win.
And then I'm like, I'm not going to turn it on. I'm going to wait till the end. Forget about it. Because if I turn it on, we're going to, throw a pick six or something like that.
Yup.
The Jets are going to turn into the Jets, and
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be.
You're going to turn back into a pumpkin.
Yep.
Ugh. Dude, what was your favorite part about yesterday's game?
My favorite part was all the guys that were called out on Twitter over the past week stepped their game up. It wasn't,
I love it.
It was just, it was almost like Salo went to Twitter and printed out,
Mm-hmm.
the receipts and showed the guys like, hey, look at our fan base talking shit about you. Step it up. You're
Mhm.
better than this type of stuff. So I just love to see them all step up, make smart decisions, and, play good enough football to win.
Yeah, dude, I love seeing the bulletin board material. When I look at this draft class in particular, the 3 first-round picks, I would say Jermaine has had the least impact right away. He had that 1 sack against Lamar, but I think Sauce has played well. I think Garrett Wilson yesterday was absolutely awesome. I think, I'd have to really sit down and think about the other offensive players that I've seen around the league right now as far as rookies go, but Garrett Wilson has 100% possibility of being offensive rookie of the year. Because I don't think there's necessarily a quarterback. Pickett's not getting a ton of snaps. It's going to be a non-quarterback this year that gets that,
The only
accolade.
other one I can see is Drake London because he's putting up catches and yards, but it's nothing.
Yeah, he
substantial
is good. I think it'll come down to one of those 2 receivers.
He's really all they have down there because Arthur Smith came out and basically said, we're not going to use our 4th overall pick from the year before, which makes absolutely no sense to me. But
What? I didn't see that at all. They're not trying to use
he came out with
Pitts?
the interview. He came out. He's like, I'm not here to, He mentioned something about fantasy football, and he said we're giving our team the best chance to win. Throw it to
All
your
right.
pass catching tight end you drafted 4th overall.
I don't think he's necessarily poo-pooing on Pitts. I think the dude's just as good of a receiver, if not better, than Drake London. It's going to be fascinating to watch. I think the Falcons could be trending up. They just got to figure out the quarterback. But brother,
I'm kind of salty I picked my fantasy.
you're out of here. You've been ejected from the cockpit.
Call from
Miles?
Yo, what's up, Mud Files? How you doing?
Yo.
Yeah.
Am I in another world? Did we really come back and win that game yesterday?
Dude, how often does this happen? It doesn't. That's the answer.
I'm trying to sit and still process that. What? I understand we won. I don't know though how we won. But I'll take it. I will take it.
Dude, someone's
All I
watching
have
out
to
for
say-
us.
Nick Chubb, I am very happy that you did this again. Because he did this once before, and I think the team came back and won. I'm not sure.
Ugh.
But he did score once before, though, and another team had a shot to win. But, hey,
Dude.
I want you to say manager going into Cincinnati. That'd be great.
That's what I want to see. I want to see a few sacks. I want Carl Lawson to pin his ears back. I want to actually have a good pass rush game because I feel like This is an opportunity for them to do it. I feel like Mitch Trubisky or Pickett, whoever they decide to play, I think that's an opportunity for them to have the pass rush. And then I think, what do we got? Tua after that. That game scares me. Hill and Waddle are no joke.
I feel like for Tua, though, that's just his one best game, and that's it. Like, that was his career game.
Dude, I can't believe the Ravens blew that. They were what, 30-7 at one point, or whatever that score was?
It was like 35-14 by the fourth quarter, and Tua just put on a clinic. I don't know.
4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
4.
Dude, he's playing way better. I shouldn't say he's playing way better. I think Waddle and Hill are like out of their mind. But Tua is playing far better than I would have thought he would have played at this point in time.
Tua, I'll give it to him, though. That game was good for him, but I think he's going to simmer down, especially when he plays us. He's definitely going to be going down. Especially
I hope
with Zach
so.
going to be back by then, too. That's going to be fun to watch.
Dude, I hope Zach comes in and he can actually start having some 300-yard games. We could see a little bit more wow factor from him.
Oh, of course. How do you think Zach's going to play? That's the thing, though. Like, is he just going to come back, though? He's going to have some rust, or is he going to come back and just start slinging it?
No, he's going to have some rust for sure. I mean, you think about game action. He played in 2 drives and looked awful against the Eagles in preseason. And now you got to come back after what's going to end up being a month and a half off. Like, there's no way he's coming in and just slinging the rock right away. I would be very surprised.
I guess the good thing is, though, that if he comes back for Pittsburgh, they're playing against TJ Watt-less defense. So
that helps a whole lot. TJ Watt is the best pass rusher in the league, or at least like he's top 5. Like the guy's incredible. To not have him and to like, especially with a suspect offensive line right now, like the Jets are like lucky right now.
Can I just throw one thing in there? That Max Mitchell's actually playing better than Aquanu and Evan Neal right now? That's crazy to me.
No way. I haven't watched any of those guys, but it's nice to...
Yeah, I saw a stat line, though. If I find it, I'll send it to you on Twitter, if anything.
Yeah.
I'll definitely send that over. I know my time's up right now, though, but yo, let's get it done this week, bro. That's all I ask. Let's go to 2-1.
Hell yeah, Mud Files. I love it, brother. Thank you so much for the call.
You're out of here!
Dude, Aquanu and Neal? Got Mitchell playing better? Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Boys and girls, you got 3 minutes on the clock. We got 15 minutes left in the call-in show. If you want to call in, phone number is on the screen. If you want your balls to feel really good, the promo code's up there. As long as I get a few people redeeming the code, Manscaped likes me, and they decide to continue sponsoring the channel. So if you've been thinking about it and you want 20% off, make your balls feel good. Maybe you want to get some MILFs, some moms, specifically Zach Wilson's mom's friends. I heard that's how Zach got it. He used one of my promo codes. My file sent me something on Twitter. Let's see. What did he send me? I'm trying to pay attention. Ooh, Pro Football Focus grade comparison. Evan Neal, 44.6. Ikem Aquanu, 45.3. Max Mitchell, 52. Now, that's not great, but it's not bad. It's better than where they were, and I'm okay with that. That's all right. I was hoping for a little bit higher number there. What are you guys saying in the chat? What's going on? What is going on? John Nolte says, Tua playing like he did in Alabama. Look, he's got 2 really good weapons. Waddle is filthy, and Tyreek Hill may be the best receiver in the NFL. Who we got?
From
These nuts, Jets fan.
D's nuts, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Yo, listen, man. Thank you for taking my call. I just want to say I watch all of your Asman, like all your whole clique. You know,
Dude,
there's
I
no
love
such
it.
thing as a fake. there's no such thing as a fake Jets fan. I tried going to Asman's show. My tag comes up as these nuts. I don't know why. I'm not sure why. It's like it's attached to my Gmail. So I'm like, I thought he thought I was a troll. I tried to give him $5. I got beat for like $1. Couldn't have my comment. I'm like, did I say something?
What?
You know, I wasn't sure, but I just want to say, listen, man, the reason I was calling is I was thinking about this today. All right, we're all riding the high, but the elephants in the room I want to talk about. Let's pretend we lost this game.
Okay.
Let's just pretend we lost this game for a second. I don't mean lost it horribly. I mean just lost it. Let's just even say we didn't recover the onside kick.
Yep.
That's simple. Everything we're talking about now, the other things we're talking about. I watched the tape again and again and again. I'm riding the high. I'm going up. I spent the last like 8 or 9 hours, dialing into the Cleveland Browns channels just to watch their reactions, in real time because of their. It's a sick thing about me that, they're like us, bro. They're like us. they have the same pain as us, but at the same time, we were in their house. They have a better team on paper. And, so I'm just saying the elephants in the room to me were the obvious. Joe Flacco's still missing throws to Wilson. Now, I know they targeted him a bunch of times. Whatever about his drop, he's a rookie. It's the second game.
Yep.
The first time, if you look at the first game, he missed a lot, like wide open stuff.
But see, that's where I feel like it's all right. Like if I'm losing games because of Joe Flacco, because of LaMarcus Joyner, like if those are the guys that cost us the game, they're not going to be here long term. Like I'm kind of okay with that. Like Garrett Wilson looks legit, Sauce looks legit, Carter looks legit, Brees looks legit, Elijah Moore is legit. Like I'm okay with some of that. Now, to your point, if we wind up losing yesterday's game, we don't get the onside kick. Like the Corey Davis touchdown to me, if we don't get the onside kick, that touchdown does not mean very much to me. I would come on here and I would tell you, hey, look, we wound up getting beat on the running game, and we had a gift of a touchdown that would have, just fluffed up the points and the yardage towards the end of that game, and I would have said it didn't matter at all. But the fact that you got the onside kick and the team fought back and that last drive came back, and we had that, the third down, like the 3 and out that we had where Lawson gets the sack. Like there was enough things that happened in a row that give me confidence moving forward.
You're absolutely right, because if the situation, if the shoe was on the other foot, we'd be saying, hey, look at all this stuff. It was a series of unfortunate events. We'd be saying that to ourselves, and they'd be saying, you know what? We made it happen. We found a way to win. And that's the difference, and it's big. And you know what? If we have to take a coin toss, a lucky, if you want to call it lucky, it wasn't lucky, because in the final 2 minutes of this game, we did something that no other team has done.
Boom! He was saying some good stuff. I like it. Just ejecting you. Holy shit. Look at Buffalo. 41-7. Yo, Titans getting bounced. Their window. Has there been a window slammed shut harder than the Titans possibly winning that division? And look at Von Miller. Guy's an animal. I thought that was a gross overpay when they signed him, and I was incredibly wrong. Buffalo is a scary good team. They've been the best team for the last 2 years, and they should have won the Super Bowl last year. The fact that Josh Allen didn't get an opportunity in overtime, that to me is what's going to drive them to win a Super Bowl this year. Primetime television, hang 41 points on the division-winning Titans. Yo, go pound sand. They're like, yo, you're not going to stop us. We're just going to do what we want when we want. That's where I hope the Jets eventually wind up.
From
Billy from Greenfield.
to accept, press.
Yo, what's up, dude? Welcome to the Cockpit.
Hey, how you doing, man? It's been a long time listener, and I would love to, bring the Jets energy that we have needed for so long. I was at the Dan Marino fake spike. Unfortunately, I was also there at the Dennis Bird game.
Oh,
I was also at Islanders game when he got better and he was up there in the skybox. But man, hey, I just want to say I appreciate you very much and everything that you do.
Thank you.
And I think Garrett Wilson is by far Laveranues Coles. I wanted the same freaking tattoos on the back of my bicep or tricep that Santonio Holmes. No, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. Santana Moss and Lavernius Coles had. But you know what? I'm glad I didn't, because Garrett Wilson, I think. Hey, you want a hot take? And then I'm gonna hang up.
Oh yeah, let's go.
My hot take, and dude, Fireman Ed mushed me one time against Denver when Lavernius rolled into the end zone right there in the corner.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, I've been a Jets fan forever, dude. I was at the Green Bay when they clinched that.
Oh, dude, that is my favorite game. That Green Bay game was incredible.
Can we get Gary V on? And that was a Ticketmaster ticket. I still got the stub. I'm up here in NY right now. The stub is in Central America at the moment. But
dude, I love that game. When people ask me what game my favorite game is that I've ever been to, I was at the Monday. I was at the Monday Night Miracle, and it's always going to be the Green Bay game. Like, we were not going to win the division. The Patriots wound up winning in overtime, and dude, that stadium felt like it was going to collapse.
It was something else.
Mm-hmm.
It was 1,000% like, and you know what? I love you, Stan. Thank you for having. I called up like 3 times, and I didn't expect to come through.
Dude, I'm glad you got through. It's awesome.
And I appreciate you, brother. Hey, I see you got your Corona there.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? After the Jets win, I think here's my hot take: Garrett Wilson is going to be the best receiver in the NFL.
Dude, if he could turn into like Justin Jefferson, I would lose my cool.
Oh,
it would be so friggin' awesome.
More shifty. Dude, do you see the shit that he's doing when he busts his hip and he fell down?
That scared the shit out of me. When
his body and
dude, he climbed the ladder.
Bro, hey, I love you. I love all your content. I love Jets Media. Peace.
Dude, thank you so much for the call in. Much appreciated, brother. We've got just 5 minutes left. Let's get one more phone call in here. Who wants it? Who wants it? Talk to me. We're going to get offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. It's going to happen. Looks like they got Malik Willis in for the Titans. He's going to get popped. Boom! Sit down, little boy. Yeah, man. What a tough game to come into for your first game. Oh, boy. Here we go. Who we got?
From
Cole.
Yo, what's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
Thanks for having me. Sadly, I was sick for the game, but still watched it. Went crazy. That was great.
There you go.
But Sauce isn't getting enough appreciation. He only let up 33 yards. Look, people think he got like burned for 100.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I feel like people like I've had a few comments now where people were like, "Oh, Sauce, like, you know, I want to see more from Sauce." It's like, well, like he's played well. Like aside from the one mistake where it looked like he was just in the wrong coverage and gave up a touchdown, which is totally on him for sure. But like he hasn't been beat when he's on the guy that he's supposed to cover.
Yeah. I feel like that was a bit 50-50 with him and Whitehead, though. I feel like it was a miscommunication.
Mm-hmm.
But what else? Sauce was on Cooper for, I'd say, 90% of that game. But they have to – I feel like they should just make a scheme where he just goes man on his guy whenever.
I feel like they should. Like that, like you have 2 lockdown corners. Like Reed has been awesome. Really like what we could gotten out of him. And I really like Sauce. Like I love that the fact they're using Sauce to cover Mark Andrews. Like I think you have the opportunity to put him on the other team's best weapon. Do it.
Yeah, it really is amazing what they're doing. But Ulbrich didn't do great this week, but LaFleur definitely stepped it up. I loved his play calling. He was like very diverse this week.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't bad. Like I feel like you have to play a certain style of defense when you go up against the Browns and you go up against the Ravens. They run the ball so well, that you have to kind of contain Lamar. You have to try and play contain on the running game. They threw a bunch of the screens to neutralize our pass rush. And I think you started seeing that a little bit with the Jets. Like you started seeing the quick like tight end chip, and then they was like, okay, I'm going to lob it to Conklin. And that's how you neutralize a pass rush. For me, I want to see this week, we should get 3 or 4 sacks, 100%. With this offensive line that we're going to go against. Absolutely.
I'm going to throw some out there. Jermaine Johnson, multi-sack game, and Clemens will get one of his own.
Ooh, I would love that. I think Lawson's going to come out. I think he's going to get 2 sacks. And then I think we're going to get a few other. I hope Quinnen gets one. I'd like to see him snag a sack. I just want to beat up on Burrow, like really badly.
Oh, I'd love to see that. Oh, that'd make my week. But I also feel like if Hall's averaging 7 yards a carry, you got to run the ball more.
You have to.
You can't be throwing 45 passes a game.
No, we can't see that. Brother, thank you so much for the call. You've been ejected from the cockpit. Boys and girls, it has been a lot of fun. Thank you for all of you that have hung around and watched the entirety of this show while we're watching a little Monday Night Football. It's always greatly appreciated. But I think that's going to be it for me. I think I'm going to catch some Z's. I got to wake up early. I got a long day of work tomorrow. But we got the Talking Jets panel coming back tomorrow. Myself, O'Leary, Greenbean, and we actually got Blewett on. Blewett's going to be coming in. I got to reach out to him. He told me he was coming on last week. And then he lost his voice. I called him. He's like, all right, I can't talk. Guys, thank you so much for flying with me tonight. It's been a lot of fun. This is Jets Talk signing off. Jets.